Hey everyone, welcome back to Trade Harbor. This is part 6 of our complete crypto learning series. So far, we've covered cryptocurrency basics, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin network, nodes, and hashing. Today, we're finally diving into the technology that makes it all possible, blockchain. You've probably heard this word 1,000 times, but do you really understand what it is and why it's so revolutionary? By the end of this video, you will. Let's break it down. So what exactly is a blockchain? A blockchain is a special type of database that records data in a way that is extremely difficult or impossible to change once it's written. But here's what makes it different from a regular database. Instead of storing data on one central server, blockchain stores data across multiple computers, called nodes, all around the world. It's public, transparent, and decentralized. While blockchain can store any type of data, it's most commonly used to record cryptocurrency transactions. Think of it as a digital ledger that everyone can see, everyone can verify, but no one can manipulate. That's the power of blockchain. Blockchain has 5 key characteristics that make it special. First, it's decentralized. No central authority controls it. No bank, no government, no company. Second, it's distributed. Every node has a full copy of all the data. There's no single master copy. Third, it's immutable. Once data is added, it cannot be altered or deleted. It's permanent. Fourth, it's append only. New data can be added, but old data cannot be removed or changed. Fifth, it's trustless. Participants don't need to trust each other. The system itself ensures everyone follows the rules. These characteristics make blockchain fundamentally different from any database system that came before it. So what kind of data does a blockchain store? That depends on the blockchain. Different blockchains store different types of information. In Bitcoin specifically, the blockchain stores the sender's address, the receiver's address, the amount of Bitcoin being sent, a timestamp of when the transaction occurred. This data is grouped together into blocks. So instead of storing each transaction individually, blockchain bundles multiple transactions together into a single block. And these blocks are then linked together in chronological order, creating a chain of blocks. Hence the name, blockchain. Let's talk about the structure. How is a blockchain actually built? Data is stored in blocks. Each block contains multiple transactions. These blocks are linked together in chronological order, from the oldest to the newest. This creates a chain of blocks, a blockchain. Now here's the crucial part. Each block contains 2 important pieces of information. First, its own hash, a unique fingerprint generated from all the data inside that block. Second, the hash of the previous block. This second part is what creates the chain. Each block is mathematically linked to the block before it. And remember from our last video on hashing, even a tiny change in data creates a completely different hash. This property is what makes blockchain so secure. So why can't you change data once it's in the blockchain? Here's how it works. Let's say someone tries to change a transaction in an old block. The moment they change that data, the hash of that block changes completely. But remember, the next block in the chain contains the hash of the previous block. So now the hashes don't match. The link is broken. This makes all the blocks after the changed block invalid. To successfully alter one block, you would have to recalculate and rebuild every single block that comes after it, across thousands of computers around the world simultaneously. This is practically impossible. This is why blockchain is called immutable, meaning it cannot be changed. This is why blockchain is tamper-resistant. Every blockchain starts with what's called the Genesis block. The Genesis block is the very first block in the blockchain. All other blocks link back to it, either directly or indirectly through the chain. The number of blocks in a blockchain is called the block height. For Bitcoin, the Genesis block was created by Satoshi Nakamoto on January 3rd, 2009. Everything in Bitcoin's history traces back to that one block. Now let's talk about the concept of a distributed ledger. A ledger is simply a record of transactions, like an accounting book. A distributed ledger is a ledger that's shared across many computers. Each node in the network stores and verifies the ledger independently. There's no single official copy. Every node has an equal copy. Blockchain is a type of distributed ledger. But here's an important distinction. All blockchains are distributed ledgers, but not all distributed ledgers are blockchains. A distributed ledger doesn't necessarily organize data into blocks, but blockchain does. Blockchain is a specific implementation of distributed ledger technology. So what makes blockchain truly revolutionary? Blockchain removes the need for a central authority. No bank, no company, no government controls the ledger. Trust is replaced by three things. First, cryptography, the math that secures the data. Second, consensus rules, the protocols that everyone agrees to follow. Third, network verification, thousands of nodes checking each other's work. This enables complete strangers to agree on what's true without needing an intermediary. Before blockchain, if two strangers wanted to exchange value, they needed a trusted third party, like a bank, to verify and record the transaction. Blockchain eliminates that need entirely. Let me compare centralized systems versus blockchain systems. In a centralized system, one entity owns and controls the database. There's a single point of failure. If that server goes down, the entire system fails. It can be hacked or manipulated more easily. You must trust the central authority. In a blockchain system, there's no owner. No one controls it. Every node has equal authority. There's no single point of failure. Thousands of computers keep it running. Data is verified by network consensus, not by trusting one party. This fundamental difference changes everything. Here's something important to understand. Bitcoin is not blockchain. They're not the same thing. Blockchain is the technology, the underlying system. Bitcoin is an application built on blockchain. Bitcoin was the first real-world use of blockchain technology. Bitcoin cannot exist without blockchain, but blockchain can exist without Bitcoin. Today, there are thousands of blockchains: Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, and many others. They all use blockchain technology, but they do different things. All right, let's recap. A blockchain is a decentralized, distributed, immutable digital ledger that stores data in linked blocks. Each block contains its own hash and the hash of the previous block, creating an unbreakable chain. Once data is added, it cannot be changed or deleted. Blockchain enables strangers to agree on truth without a central authority, replacing trust with cryptography, consensus, and network verification. Bitcoin uses blockchain as its public ledger, tracking all transactions since 2009. Blockchain is considered a general-purpose technology, like electricity or the internet. It has the potential to transform multiple industries. In the next part of this series, we'll explore different types of cryptocurrencies and how they differ from Bitcoin. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for part 7. Check the description for our top 5 crypto exchanges and sign-up links for Binance, Bybit, OKX, KuCoin, and Delta Exchange. Drop a comment and let me know, did blockchain finally make sense? What questions do you have? Thanks for watching part 6. This is Trade Harbor, and I'll see you in part 7.